not know. We don't have any Zika cases in Europe that has been generated in Europe because it's very strongly dependent on the presence of the mosquitoes. And there are two. These mosquitoes are mainly Aedes aegypticus and Aedes albopictus, and they are tiger moth-like mosquitoes, which are now moving north. They were formerly in the subtropical region, and now they are moving north. We have them, at least albopictus, we have around the Mediterranean. In the United States, it's moving north, so it's even going up to Long Island and New York, and this may be due to global warming. And with this virus that follows, with this mosquito, there's a virus that follows, and that has been known for 60 years and not much attention given to it, since it was harmless, more or less. You got arthralgia, some rash, some fever, but nothing more. And now we have seen a new thing, the association with very severe cerebral damage to fetuses of pregnant women, and in particular Brazil, and before that in French Polynesia. This was a completely new discovery that has frightened a lot of people, including the medical society, community, and people are now putting all efforts in to control this virus.
Like you said, it is known for 40s. Why is it hot topic right now?
Well, it's mainly, well, it's essentially due to the two sets of complications. The ones in the pregnant women, which I mentioned, and also in some countries like in Polynesia and in Colombia, you have a kind of some often benign but sometimes fatal paralysis called Guillain-Barré syndrome, and they have 400 cases of that in Colombia. They had about 30 in Polynesia, which is a much smaller population. And but that is if you don't die of not being able to breathe for some weeks, that it passes normally. What does not pass is the damage to the brain of the children, and that was not recorded in Africa, nor in India, nor in Southeast Asia.
The world of science and the world of business are fighting for the vaccination for the Zika virus, and I want to ask, is it the case of, I don't know, months, further years, or you
Well, a vaccine normally takes 10 years to launch. A vaccine takes 10 years to make the safety controls, unless you have a very good lead. The influenza vaccine, there you have sort of built up 90% of the vaccine beforehand, but to make it safe, to make it you have to be very prepared, and the question is, if this seems as the Zika virus only can infect you once in life. If you raise a vaccine and that proves protective to Zika virus, that's good, but if it proves that you worsen the situation, which is a possibility, that it becomes worse, since you can stimulate some antibodies that are not good enough, and then when you meet the virus, then you get a worse infection. And those things have to be cleared out. About 40-50 years ago, the yellow fever vaccine, which is related, was introduced. That is safe and good. Then there's a related set of viruses called the dengue. It took 40 years to make a vaccine, and that was launched in December last year. And still, it's not completely clear to which extent that is completely safe. And we may encounter similar difficulties with the Zika vaccine, if there is one. Well, technically, the production is not the difficult thing. I mean, that will be sorted out one way. That's already sorted out. But to make it safe and know that you are not causing more damage with the vaccine than the nature itself. So it's better to try to control the virus, to control the mosquitoes by other means, in particular to lower the insect pool, not with biocides, but see that there are no water surfaces left for the mosquito larvae to grow in.
People are talking mainly about transmitting Zika virus by mosquitoes, but it is not the only way.
No, it's been. I mean, there are a few cases where it has been caused by sexual transmission, and Zika virus in some models, even animal models, has very high concentration in the testes, and it's excreted by the semen. And that is also there's a male who transmitted to the female and to his female partner, and had a very high, like 100 million copies per milliliter of semen. So that is an open question to which this really contributes to the epidemic more than in single cases. My suggestion is that it's not enough to keep an epidemic going. What can keep the epidemic going is there are enough mosquitoes out there that bite you, and those mosquitoes fly to me, and then it's. But if you are immune, and two of you are immune, and then there must be. So this is a critical cascade of things that must happen. And if there's a breach in that, so there are no people going around with the virus in the blood, then the mosquito can bite you 10 times and you will itch, but that's it.
Okay, so give us some practical pieces of advice, because some of us can, I don't know, go to the Olympic Games in Rio. It is now very popular, and in South America.
I would say I would discourage pregnant women or women who intend to become pregnant in the very near future, to go there, since this situation is not in full control. And we also have to remember that there are seasons. This population of the mosquitoes goes up and down. If it's a certain temperature, also meaning that if you're high enough, there is none of these mosquitoes. I would say that those who go do so, but you can protect yourself with your insect repellents. You can have long sleeves, and you can try to avoid bites in various means. And coming home, males should, if they have not any symptoms, they should use barrier contraceptives like condom for a month, and if they have had something that could be plausible for Zika, they should prolong that to 6 months, because we know that the excretion of the semen is that long.